If your code saves a row into a database and then publishes an event, you have written one of the most common bugs in backend systems. It hides in almost every codebase, quietly dropping events while your logs stay clean. The fix is simple once you see it, and it has a name. And to understand it, let me show you how quietly it breaks first. Let's get started. In your signup flow, you saved the new user. The welcome email never went out. Your logs show 0 errors. How does that happen? The database write landed fine. The event that should have followed it just quietly vanished. Here's the code behind that signup. You create the user, then publish a user-registered event, so the rest of the system can react. One event fans out to 4 places: provisioning, billing, analytics, and the welcome email. Save the row, then publish the event. It reads top to bottom like a sentence, and it is what almost everyone writes first. On a good day, it works perfectly, which is why it sails through review and passes every test you write. But save then publish is 2 separate actions to 2 separate systems. It looks like a single unit of work, but underneath it is 2. And it holds up right until the moment between those 2 lines go wrong. Let's name what's actually happening. Your signup does 2 things that look like one. It writes the user to the database and it publishes an event to the broker. 2 writes to 2 different separate systems. A single database can make its own writes atomic. They can meet together or not at all. But nothing gives you that across the database and the broker. There is no shared transaction wrapping both. And it goes well past sign up, swap the broker for a cache, a search index, even another database, and you are still making 2 writes that no single transaction can cover. When one fails, the 2 end up out of sync. Take the order from before. Commit to the database and then publish the event. If the publish fails, that data moved on and the downstream never hears about it. Or the service commits, then dies right before the publish runs. The row is saved, the event never left, and nothing warns you. Flip the 2 lines, publish first, then commit. If the commit fails, after the event is already out, you have announced a user that does not exist. That phantom event makes every downstream service act on something that never happened. Reordering feels like it should help, but the crash just moved to the other side of the gap. Whether those 2 writes set, a failure can land between them. You move the problem around, you never closed it. You may reach for a distributed transaction, one commit tying the database and the broker together. In practice, that door is mostly closed. Many brokers do not support it, and it couples your service to both systems, which is the opposite of what you want here. Both ordering breaks. That textbook fix is off the table. And that dead end is what forces a different idea. What if the event were not a second write at all? Instead of sending it, you write it into your own database, into a table called the Outbox, in the same transaction as the user. Now, both writes go to the same place, so the database can make them atomic. If the transaction commits, the user and the event are both saved. If it rolls back, neither ever exists. There is no in-between and no gap left to crash into. Back in the architecture, the second arrow is gone. Your handler does not call the broker anymore. It writes the event down the same way it writes any other row. That risky cross-system call is no longer in the request path. Getting the event to the broker is now a job of its own. That Outbox row is durable now, but it's not going anywhere on its own. So a separate worker, the relay, reads the committed rows and publishes them to the broker. The request that created it has already returned it to the user. Writing the event and sending it are now 2 different jobs at 2 different times. The transaction guarantees the row exists. The relay guarantees it eventually goes out. Eventually is the honest word here, because the relay can fail and retry, which is exactly where duplicates come from. There are two ways to build the relay. The first is pooling. The relay queries the Outbox table for new rows every so often and publish them. It needs nothing special, just a plain SQL against the database you already run. Pooling forces a trade-off. Pool too often and you hammer the database. Pool too rarely and events sit waiting. There is also a sneakier trap. Under load, rows can show out of commit order, so the relay skips one and quietly drops it. The second way is change data capture. Instead of querying, the relay tails the database log and publishes each change as it lands. It comes out in the database commit order for free, which means ordered by default. It reaches the broker in tens of milliseconds and the table stays empty. The catch is that capture is more specialized to set up, and it ties you to your specific database. Pooling runs anywhere. The usual guidance is simple. Prefer capture when you can, and reach for pooling when you need to run anywhere. The Outbox has one honest limit. It gives you at least once delivery, not exactly once. Watch how a duplicate happens. The relay publishes the event successfully, then crashes before it records that it sent it. On restart, the row still looks unsent, so it publishes the very same event again. This isn't unique to pooling. With change capture, the same thing happens if it crashes after sending but before acknowledging. And most brokers default to at least once anyway, so a consumer can see the same message twice. Duplicates here are normal, so you design for them. If duplicates are normal, the goal is to make each one harmless. That's an idempotent consumer. Processing an event twice does the same thing as processing it once. The tool behind it is a stable ID on every event. When you process an event, you record its ID in a processing messages table, keyed by the consumer and the event ID. If that insert fails because the ID is already there, you have seen it before, so you roll back and skip it. One trap: don't use a plain database sequence for that ID, because under concurrent write it is not reliably in commit order. Use the log position instead. That same ID also keeps order. Tag each event with its user ID, and that user's event stay in a commit order. One more thing nobody mentions: every event you publish first becomes a row, so if nothing removes them, the table grows forever. The fix is to make a cleanup part of the relay. Once the broker confirms the publish, delete the row. The database won't do this for you. With change capture, you mostly dodged this, since it reads the commit log and the table stays empty. But streams have their own retention window. DynamoDB Streams, for example, keep changes for about a day, so a relay that falls behind past that window loses events. So the rule is, keep your retry budget shorter than the retention. The pattern works the same everywhere, and AWS documents the same two shapes. First, the pooling version. Keep the Outbox table in RDS and run a scheduled lambda that reads new rows and pushes them to SNS. That schedule is just the pooling interval again. The second version is where it gets nice. Use DynamoDB and turn on DynamoDB Streams. The stream is the relay. Every change to the table becomes a time-ordered record. A lambda reads the stream and forwards each event to EventBridge. There is no separate table to pull. If you have used DynamoDB Stream, you have already used the Outbox pattern. Two honest caveats people miss. Ordering is per item, not one global order across the table, so you still lean on that per user ID. The system itself has no duplicates, but the lambda still run at least once. So keep consumer idempotent, and those streams only keep changes for up to 24 hours. The rule you can carry out of this is simple. Anytime one action changes your database and has to tell another system, don't do two writes. Write the event into an Outbox row in the same transaction as your data and let a separate relay publish it. Then assume at least once and make your consumer idempotent with a stable event ID. That's the whole pattern. Remember the sign up from the start? The welcome email goes out now, because the event was saved in the same transaction as the user. Next time you catch yourself writing save the row and then publish the event, you will know the bug, and you will know the fix. If this helped, subscribe, like, and share it. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.